cable here, which is the longest one, actually just broke here.
Oh my God, it puts a smile on my face. I can't believe.
So hopefully it's the end of having to do this every time. You can hear it going mad when you want.
Right side, 370 millimeters. Left side, 390 millimeters. I think we've got a problem.
Well, hi guys, welcome to another episode of TJM, the Jagman. I'm Brett. We're up in the Jag Cave today. We have my gorgeous XJC Adelaide sitting up there that needs some... Well, what we've got to do, we've got to give it an oil change. It's overdue, and I haven't changed the brake fluid for a couple of years, so I want to clean out that system. But it's not priority, but it's been sitting there for a while because all these other jobs just keep popping up. Too many Jaguars, too many jobs, not enough time, not enough energy. But today we're going to work on my little beautiful XJR, Arnie, my 2005 XJR 4.2 litre V8. And the hoon in me wants to do a little bit more performance adding to this thing, which is just really quite stock standard at the moment. What we're going to do, I've just went and bought a really expensive piece of aluminium pipe. A new intake pipe to fit on here to remove this plastic one that really quietens down the supercharger to a point where you really don't even hear it so much. So this is just going to probably improve the horsepower a little bit. I could change and put also a better intake air filter on it, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to change this. And just compare the difference between what it sounds with the original intake manifold pipe and this new one, which is meant to give it more hoon roar. Yes! But before we do that, let's take her out and find a little bit of stretch of road and see what the stock intake sounds like. And then when we put the new one on, we'll go back on that same stretch of road and see what the new one sounds like.
Yeah, the stock one's hardly audible. Maybe because I just think it's an old man's car. Even though I am an old man, a bit of hoon still in me. Don't let the old man in. That's what I keep telling myself. Don't let the old man in. Just do some unscrewing of the clamps. Get that nice and loose. Get that one nice and loose. Unplug that air sensor, nice and loose, both nice and loose. Off that way. Okay, is this going to be easy to get off? It's going to be easy to get off. Come on, oh, a bit of strength. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, those little thingies there, I think they're to quiet it down. We don't want them. Yeah. So they do give us new hose clamps, and they do give us, I guess it goes that way. Yeah, that fits nicely. Hose clampy on that one, get that over there. Too many pipes. That's better, Brady. We'll do that one up nice and tight. Make sure it's not hindering anything under there. Very tight. There's quite a lot of cooling hoses. Okay, I've got both of those in there. Bigger hose clamp on that side, smaller hose clamp on that one. Won't tighten it up too much just yet because we've got to get this side on now. They give you this rubber. And I guess that's supposed to just go there like that and remove that bit. So this might just plug into there. Let's just get that out as well. Let's see how we go. Whoops. Without breaking. Ah, you're out. Okay, so that just pushes over it. I'll probably get a little hose clamp put on that. That looks all right. Wonder if they give you them. Don't think they do. So there, that just goes on there like that. Okay. Put this one on. Go back on. Big hose clamp second. Goes back on. Now a hard bit to see if we can get this to go over here. No, easy, easy, easy. Oh, it's looking good already. Gonna get those tightened up. How's it looking? Put the pluggy back in. Probably didn't have to take that off in the first place. I don't know why I did. Anyway, put that back on. And I'll get a couple of small hose clamps. Okay, breather back on. Geez, I think we're almost we're done. Except for this. Our performance. Put that on, I think. That's probably right there, I think. How's that look? So yeah. Well, if anything, if it doesn't do any performance, it certainly looks better than the other one. I wonder if you just chop those off and sealed them off, you'd get the same result. Because quite a few of them, you'd have to really butcher it. But we won't get rid of it. We'll go with the car. Okay, we'll take it back onto that little stretch of road that we went on last time. But let's just wait till we get around this corner a bit. I can feel it's sort of loud already. I'll close the windows. I'll close a couple of these windows. A bit bumpy around here. Our roads are crap, so I can't really give it much. Oh, wait till we get back onto a longer straight. Engine's still cold, so wait till we get to the top of the hill and it'd be nice and warm, then I can give it a bit of real grunt. Okay, just coming up to a little straight up here. There's only 60, might be 50 here, so I can't really... Okay, we've got a little bit of a straight here. Let's give it a go. Oh my god. I don't know if it's much louder, but it certainly feels like I've got a few more extra horsepower. Okay, we'll give it another go. Let's get around this corner a little bit. Oh my god, it puts a smile on my face. I can't believe how quick it's picking up. I've never it's definitely got more guts. Definitely got more guts. Hello, Mimi. God, I'm loving this car. I love it. I've owned it now for about 5 years. It's definitely got more horsepower. I must look up the specs on it. But for, you know, 20-year-old car with this sort of guts and the amount of money, I mean, it has got its problems. Things go wrong with it all the fucking time. Not bad, but just little things. But that's what you gotta live with if you own a Jaguar XJR. Oh, this is so good. I'm gonna get into trouble here if I keep this up. Arnie's remote boot hasn't worked for nearly 12 months. I've been using the key because the remote motor in the latch is busted. And I haven't been able to find, we can get a new one and that, but I was wanting to find a good second-hand one. And I did, from America again. I hope it's a good second-hand one. With one hand, we'll get out of this box. So we're going to install that. It's pretty easy. I've already taken the liner off the boot lid, sitting there comfortably. So hopefully it's the end of having to do this every time. You can hear it going mad when you open it up. This little cover wasn't easy to get out, even with the little these off. It was really latched on. I had to use a bit of force for that. That just has a small little push-on steel clip that holds it to the boot lid there. Well, it's out, and for change I've got the right part by the looks of things. In reverse order, there's two hex bolts you take off there, 40 hex, and then you unhook this. You have to unhook this first before you try to take the motor out, because it won't come out unless you unhook that first. And it's a little bit hard pushing that little rubber off the chassis as well. Anyway, it's out. We'll get it back in. New one in. Okay, all installed, and that cable's hooked up. And before you actually close the boot, just make sure that cable is doing its job. Otherwise you don't want to have a problem with trying to get into this boot later. It's doing its job. It's locked into place. Make sure that's nice and locked into place, and that it's not going to come out. Cable's not going to come out. Okay, here goes. Oh, take the key out. I heard it lock. That's a good sign. Will it open? Wifey's going to be happy. That's really good. And will it open from the press button? Because I actually bought one of these as well, just in case. Yes. Another little job. I'll just put it all back together now. I'm happy with that. Also, I've had a lot of questions about my 4-poster hoist. If you looked at my video in regards to when I was servicing that 2005 S-Type, I had a little disaster happen. This cable broke. This cable, it's got 4 cables. They each, one cable runs each one of the posts. And this cable here, which is the longest one, actually just broke here. And there's no reason why it would have broken, except it was, well, there was a reason. It was completely rusted out, but there was no reason that I could tell or why it ever started to rust in the first place. You've got to grease these with lanolin, and I was probably a little bit neglected into doing that, but that wasn't the cause of it. There's something that either got onto the cable, like a chemical or salt water, whether I did it or whether it was factory. These things come from China. You wouldn't know what happens to them from when they're made to when they get here. Anyway, I got the man out. I got the guy who, a lovely bloke from Central Coast. He actually installs these things, and he also installs them and service. So he was able to jack the. He had one of those off-road 4-poster jacks. Not 4-poster. He had an off-road jack, and what we did, we just lowered it briefly down, and he just notched the jack thing down while I lowered it by the hydraulics, and we finally were able to get the car off, replace the cable. He serviced it for me. He's going to come back and service it yearly now. I should have called the man in the first place, but anyway, so we're all good. We're all back up there, and everything's working well. I'm very happy, and he didn't charge me much for it either, so that was pretty good as well. Okay, before we wind it up, I've got one more problem. It's not going to be fixed on this video because it's going to take too long. But I've still got problems with my air suspension. Ever since wifey hit that pothole a few months ago and actually destroyed one of the air struts, and we replaced the air strut, and there's a video on that, I'm still having dramas. And this one's just come back into it.
while I love this air suspension while it's going good, when it's not going good, it can be really annoying. And if you look there, you can see that the ride height is not calibrated. She's higher on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. She's almost 30 millimetres gone up. This has been gradually happening. It was a little bit higher, about 10 mil to start with. Now it's totally out of calibration. So it's going up to a place called Old Jaguar that specialises in doing things like that. So we're going to do a video of that. That's going to be in a couple of weeks. They use a machine which is an SSD Jaguar diagnostics thingo that will calibrate each wheel to the correct ride height. So that'll be interesting video. So if you made it this far in the video and you did like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, it's free and it helps my algorithms. That's also good. If you want to leave a comment, as usual, I love hearing from you guys and I'll read them and respond to all of them. And we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.